Uh, what's that one Egyptian song you were telling everyone about? You were telling Marina about on that show. The Egyptian,
Ayonha.
of course.
Yeah, by Hamid El Shaeri. That
Everyone.
that started blowing up in the last couple of years. I'm so
Yeah, I
glad.
think it because of you. Actually, I never heard it before
Well,
you, and
well,
I was spreading it virally, and I think everyone kind of
everybody.
the feeling is so
It's
infectious.
collective. It's the universal harmony. That's the best way for me to describe it. And he's an Egyptian artist, musician who was a total amateur and doing it self-recording techniques. I
It's like
saw
'70s,
in the late '70s,
late
yeah, and
'70s, right?
early '80s. Ayonha is actually, I believe, actually released in the early '80s or '81, but it was recorded, I believe, in the late '70s. But I found that song on Radio, which is
Oh, of course, that app. Yeah, yeah,
it's an
sure.
amazing site where you can find anything globally on a map.
Time Machine
And
globally on a
whoever put
map.
that on there, I want to give them credit for that, because that's how I found it. That's how a lot of people found it. A lot of people found it through other people finding it, so it's a big ripple effect through that initial source as well. But there's a video I just saw of people blasting that song somewhere in the Middle East. I believe it was Lebanon. They were blasting that song in a club. It wasn't even a remix. It was just the song, and people were partying so hard and they knew all the lyrics
Really?
in Arabic. And I was like, finally, it has taken off. But that's just something that we all feel. It's that in that song there is a universal harmony that I feel, that the whole world feels, that and
How would you describe it? Like when I listen to that song, it's like I just want to. I cry. I want to go there. I want to
yeah,
breathe in that feeling of this human
yeah,
melancholy, this longing, this. I don't know. How would you describe the feeling of that?
yeah. I mean,
The fuck.
I try to negate music theory when I make music. I try to just feel and
Sure.
be intuitive. But when I'm thinking about that song, I think about how it's going between a major seventh and a minor chord the whole time. And a major seventh is the chord of nostalgia
It is.
for me.
Yes, of
And
course.
it's universal. I feel like there's something universal and something
Yeah.
transformative about a major seven that the whole world can agree upon.
Of
I think
course.
that you can say that about all intervals, actually, but even microtonal ones. But going between that major seventh and the minor chord, it's not something that happens in a lot of Arabic music. It's actually a very Western chord progression, and it's the Western inspiration on that combined the Arabic vocals, the Arabic lyrics. They're like they're instruments that are not so incredibly technologically advanced, very basic, and creating an incredibly beautiful, lush sound with those limitations, and that song.
And the alchemy of the two, the Western kind of music.
That's why it's like a global sound, because it's the union of the two. I feel like, yeah, I just get transported right to like the Nile, where I'm like on a boat on the Nile River, just hearing that on like, playing on the speakers on the boat, and everybody's partying. That's kind of what I feel.
Yeah, when I
But
heard that song, I don't know. For me, I think of Los Angeles.
yeah,
It's a nostalgia for L.A. Like when you look out here on downtown, the concrete, the sky, the beach. That's how I interpret it, or that's what my mind goes to. I just feel this childhood thing, and it's in Egypt. And by the way, I know that song. That was very curious. Your song, is it La Egypt?
yeah,
Yeah.
L.A. Egypt. Yeah,
See, I
it's
didn't
about
know it was
L.A.
L.A.
That's your song right there, because you're talking about Egypt and LA. And I think that the thing that we share is the man-made paradise. Is Egypt and Los Angeles share that the man-made oasis, because
Right, exactly.
before humans as actually a more arid and less biodiverse, so that's something we really share with Egypt, and similar latitude as well. And the
Yeah,
same
exactly.
latitude around the earth has,
People would be surprised about the latitude. People
yeah.
think I know I did. You think, okay, LA is, I don't know. You think
It's actually much lower. It's actually
much
the
lower.
same. The same. Israel's is around the same as LA. It has very similar climate on
Exactly.
the coast.
Morocco as well. I looked at it on
yeah,
the map. Exactly.
Exactly. And those zones, within many degrees, are just paradise zones for weather, and they're paradise zones for thought. I feel like as well, and
Interesting.
creativity.
Paradise
And
zones.
Paradise zones.